This is the plaintiff, Frankie Lopez Jr. He says he bought a dog from the defendant on the promise that he was well trained. Once he got the dog home, he soon realized he'd been lied to because that dog was mean and aggressive. It would go after kids on the street. It dragged them down on the ground, and he's here suing the defendant for the $700 he paid for the wild thing. This is the defendant, Shay Rich. She says the plaintiff wanted a guard dog because he was robbed and needed some security. A week later, he told her he changed his mind. She refused to give him his money back, and that's when the threats from him started pouring in. He threatens her with his guns and thinks she's gonna give back the money? Nice try. She's accused of selling a wild animal.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Please seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Lopez, you are suing Ms. Rich for $700 that you say you paid for a dog that you returned. Let's talk about that. What kind of dog was this?
It's one of his big dog, cane corso.
A cane
big,
corso.
Huge, big dog.
Okay, and why did you, how old was the dog?
I don't know, I think 11 months, maybe 1 year, huh?
Okay, and why did you buy the dog from her?
Because I was misled information of this dog. She told me this is a good dog, and I bought the dog all because I know.
But who had the dog for the first 11 months?
She did.
So it was her dog?
Her dog, correct.
Okay, is she a breeder or something, or?
I don't know, no.
Well, how do you know her from before?
Oh, I know her before, correct, yes.
Right, so you're the one who knows her. You tell me, how do you know her? What is she? What does she do? How do you know her?
I know her from where she used to live in my building.
Are you a breeder of dogs?
No, ma'am.
So you were just selling him your personal dog?
Yes.
Okay, and why were you selling him your personal dog?
Because he told me that he got robbed last year and he needed the dog for protection.
Okay.
So I felt bad for him and gave him the dog.
Who gives your own dog away because you feel bad because someone else wants a dog?
Because
he
kept
could get a dog
asking
anywhere
me,
for protection.
He kept asking me for the dog.
How many times did he ask you to sell
Like
him your dog?
3 times.
So why don't you just say, no, it's my dog, man?
I was going to give him the dog.
Well, no, you were going to sell him your dog.
I'm selling the dog, yeah.
Okay. How much money did he pay you?
$200.
He didn't pay you $700?
No, ma'am. And he still owe me more money.
What more money does he owe you?
He owe me $500 more.
Because you sold him the dog for $7, but you gave it to him once he gave you $2?
Yes. He said he's going to give it back, give me the rest.
Okay. And what
then
happened?
he started threatening me.
Why did he threaten you?
Because he said that I misled him about a dog. He didn't know how to handle the dog.
Did you tell him the dog was trained?
The dog was trained.
And according to you, the dog was not trained?
Not trained, it was improfessionalism. No, not trained properly.
Okay.
It was misled.
Why? How were you misled?
Because she told me the dog is trained, I have this dog, and all because this dog is too aggressive, it's bad for the public, and it's not good with kids.
Okay. What happened when you had the dog that causes you to say that?
What happened is, on the Sunday, I went to the shopping area, and this dog went after a child on a bicycle. This dog it's not good for kids. It's not well trained, and going after other dogs.
Okay.
And it was bit this child on a bicycle. And
Are you a dog trainer?
I used to train dogs back in the days with.
How long did you train dogs for?
For maybe 4.5 years.
Okay, so why couldn't you just kind of train the dog?
But the dog is too dominant. It's very aggressive, very dominant dog, and you have to control this dog. And it's good when you have it when they're young, but this dog is not trained properly, so I cannot train this dog right. Dog is out of control.
Okay, so you go back to her and you tell her, take your dog back.
Yeah, I tell her, here's your dog, here's your stuff, and then now where's my money? I gave you back your cage, I gave you the money, and now where's my money?
And what does she say?
She says, no, I'm not gonna pay you.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Are there certain dogs, and I think I can ask you guys this, that are just untrainable?
No.
Yeah, no, I really don't think so. I mean, people have a misunderstanding about pit bulls, but this guy has got to be the most loving dog.
I always hear that from people, but we do have a lot of pit bull cases.
Well, I think those dogs are abuse dogs, and I think if they're taken care of, well trained.
So can I ask, are you guys together?
Yes,
We are.
And this dog interacts with that dog?
And
sleeps
she's-
underneath him every time.
Yeah, and she's the boss of the two.
She's the boss.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I almost want to see that, but I have a feeling somebody's going to end up crying going inside the courtroom.
So your premise is, I get a refund because she lied. She told me the dog was trained.
No, I was misled, correct. Your Honor.
Okay. And you say, yeah, I told him the dog was trained. The dog is trained. He just doesn't know how to handle the dog. Where's the dog now?
At my house.
Okay. Now, she says you only gave her $200.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Where's your paperwork so I can see what actually happened?
I have all my.
Do you have a contract with her for the dog?
No, it was a mutual understanding agreement.
Oh, well, where'd that leave you
Yeah,
right
I need
now?
to just leave it.
She claims you only get, so if you gave somebody $700, I presume that you got a receipt from them, right?
I didn't get nothing from her. It was
Well, then why give her this? See, cash doesn't leave this hand
I'm sorry.
until a receipt comes into this hand. Otherwise, someone could say, I never paid a penny. And I don't want to do that, so I don't pay cash without getting a receipt. So why don't you have a receipt for the money that you gave her? Now she's saying you only gave her $200.
That's not true. I gave her an envelope full of $20 and $700 in cash.
How are you going to prove it?
Well, she knows the truth. I'm not going to lie.
Watch this. Did he give you $700?
No, ma'am.
Okay, how'd that go?
That's how that go. Wow.
Now show me your receipt.
Well, there's no receipt on the dog, but it's a mutual understanding, all because I trust her, you know. And
Did she give you any money back?
No, she never gave me anything back, Your Honor, nothing.
Do you guys have text between the two of you that might elucidate things here?
Yeah, I have all the messaging in my phone. Oh, here, I have copies. Here.
Okay, let me see that.
Yes, all up here. This is a file. Here's my original. Yeah.
Well, what? Pictures of his badge? Were you a cop?
Yes, Your Honor, you're retired.
Retired. Right. Why are you showing me pictures of your badge?
That's who I'm just introducing my credentials.
Just introducing yourself?
Yes,
okay.
correct. Yeah.
My friend dog having more pups and try to get you one that way. September 9th. When did the sale happen?
On September 4th.
When did you return the dog?
On September 9th.
So you tell him, my friend's dog is having pups. I'm going to try to get you one that way. You can train your own puppy. Who are you talking about here?
He said, can I get him a puppy? I said, yes, my friend dog is having more puppies. Do you
Why
want
would he
one of
want to
those?
buy a puppy from you unless you were supposed to give
Because
him...
he asked me for a puppy.
Excuse me. Is this the same guy who just a day earlier returned your dog and you said, I'm not giving you back any money?
Yes, the same person.
So why would he buy a puppy from you if he thinks you owe him $200 or $700?
I don't know, Judge, that's what he said.
I can give you $200 back. You need a puppy. You can't handle him. He too big for your apartment. I can give you $200 back. Why did you tell him that you'd give him $200 back?
Because he said he could pay for the puppy. If I give him the $200 back, he'll pay for a regular puppy.
Why do you say, when will you come back with the rest of the money installment?
Because this is a mutual understanding we had, telling me that by replacing back, I gave you back your dog. And now, where's my...
And then you say, what rest of the money? You brought the dog. Wait, that means she paid you something when you say the rest of the money. Why would you text her, when will you come back with the rest of the money installment? That implies she had paid you some money.
That's how I put it, rest of the money that you...
And then your answer is, what rest of the money? You brought the dog and now you don't want him. So that answer, so that's all you're going to give me, $200, that's it, after I gave you $7, plus I gave you food, and I brought you stuff. Did you give him $200 back?
I didn't give him nothing.
A circuit of all that dog is not trained properly, that's not good for the public. My sons will talk with you. Be a man and talk to me, not tell people lies. How do I know you didn't just change your mind? And if you did, why would you get any money back? Because this isn't a refundable, it's not Macy's, you know? You got the dog off your hands by giving the dog back to her. How do I know that it isn't just that, yeah, you didn't bond with the dog, you didn't like the dog, you know? I'm not going to order the return of any money. I don't find that this was a circumstance where the idea of a return is contemplated. I don't even know how much money you paid or didn't pay. No clue, but that doesn't even matter, because really the question is, do you have a right to have your money back? And that is only true if you can prove that somebody lied to you. You know, she's back and forth in these texts telling you, you told me you could handle him and it turns out you can't. But, you know, you used to train dogs, of all things, training Doberman pinschers. Dogs are trainable even when they're grown. I mean, some dogs aren't, but it is possible. It's a lie that you can't teach an old dog new tricks. You can. You actually can, and anybody who trains dogs knows that. But, you know, maybe you just changed your mind about it or felt like it was too much for you you bit off more than you can chew, but that doesn't mean you have a legal right to a refund. I'm finding in favor of the defendant.
So the plaintiff fails to convince the judge he deserves $700 back. Mr. Lopez, if you'll step over here, you put the judge in a really tough position. You didn't have any proof of anything. You need proof in court. You ought to know that. You said you were a law person at one point.
Yeah, but taking her word, it was not kind of. So I'm just gonna, take a loss. I'll take a loss.
You got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Good enough. Thank you very much. Ms. Rich, you've got the dog, right?
Yes.
He says the dog was aggressive and uncontrollable. How do you find the
The
dog?
dog is not aggressive and not uncontrollable. He's a good dog. He loves kids. He beat my grandkids and everything.
Really? What do you think the problem was with him?
He just couldn't handle the dog. The dog was too big for him. You can't just take a dog that's an adult and try to train it in 2 weeks. You can't do it. The dog's not used to you yet. I told him that. Give it some time. But he felt that the dog was aggressive. The dog don't even bite nobody.
Well, good. All right. Well, good luck with the dog.
Thank you.
You're going to keep it, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Very good. Harvey?
Well, I mean, it's pretty simple that if you're going to get a dog and somebody's making representations about what the dog does and doesn't do, make them show you before you plunk down the dough.